Upper back.
I was going to say low back.
Whole spine.
Whole spine.
Okay.
Everything hurts.
Yeah, relatable. Alrighty. Let's begin laying down on the back then. Just take your time getting comfortable. Little tiny bugs will crawl on your mat. That's just part of it. And we'll just take a couple minutes here laying down, letting the eyes close if that's comfortable, or you can just kind of let the gaze fixate at something above you. If you're at home, maybe a little spot on the ceiling. If you're out here with me, maybe something in the trees. Noticing the backside of the body as it rests on your mat. Noticing the little points of contact we have with the ground. And then noticing the space around you, right? It's a different animal to be doing your practice outside in the world, especially if you're very used to always being inside. So just notice the little subtle shifts and changes and what you're aware of. Okay. You can notice the clothing touching our skin, the air touching your skin. You can kind of even feel this big space around you, right? Noticing the different sounds and how this sound passes down through the ear canals. And then starting to lengthen out the breath. Nice long inhale. Long exhale. Allowing the skin of the forehead to soften, to release, to relax. Allowing the eyes to soften back into the sockets. Releasing, relaxing the jaw. Maybe even moving that lower part of the jaw from side to side a couple of times, and opening and closing the mouth kind of big a couple of times and letting it relax. You hold a whole lot of tension in that little spot. So give it some attention here. Your shoulders soften down, let them walk away from the ears. And then start to even out the pace of the breath. So inhaling for a count of 4 or 5. And then exhaling for a count of 4 or 5. Maybe finding a little pause at the top of the inhale, a little pause at the bottom of the exhale. Invite in some little movements. Give a little wiggle to your fingers, a little wiggle to your toes. And then slowly, mindfully start to reach the arms up and overhead. Take a nice big full body stretch. Reach the arms back. And then go ahead, reach the legs forward. And then as we exhale, gently hug the knees in towards the chest. Give the legs a little squeeze towards the body. Do a little rock from side to side. And then with one hand on each knee, start to circle the legs around, down and away from one another. And then back in and up. And then in the other direction. So we can already like kind of take stock of what's going on in the low back and hips just by moving the legs around a little bit, right? And then just hug the right knee into the chest. Let the left leg stretch out long. Give it a nice little squeeze in towards the chest. And then as we exhale, take the right leg over and across the body. So finding and starting with a gentle twist. Walking the left shoulder from under the chest, right shoulder will melt down. If it's comfortable, you can take that right arm out to the side, just let it lay down in the grass, or you can let the right hand rest on the rib cage. Right, observing the breath. The left hand can stay on the right knee, or again, arms can be in a T. A couple breaths here. Again, you can keep the eyes closed. Just let the gaze fixate, focusing on the breath. And then we'll gently come back to center. Hug the left knee into the chest. Let the right leg stretch out long. Take a breath in. And as we exhale, take the left leg across. Find some space across the upper back, right? Walk the right shoulder from under the chest. Left shoulder melts down, and taking the arms wherever they're comfortable. Right, if the hand is on the rib, notice, or on the ribs rather, notice as you inhale the space expand and widen. All right, feel a little bit more depth to the twist with each exhale. And then slowly back to center. Move the hips to the middle of the mat if they've moved around a little bit. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, interlace the hands behind that left leg. Hug it in towards the chest. Draw the toes back towards the shins. And then let your leg shift over to the left a little tiny bit. Right, so we deepen that stretch in the outer right hip. Right, so if you've got like tightness or sciatica or anything going on in your low back, this is a nice little stretch that you can add to your day once or twice a day to help open up across that low back area. Right, if your hips are tight, you have to stand for a long time at work or even sit, this is really helpful. Right, from here, keep the legs as they are, just extend the left leg up towards the sky. And then point and flex the foot a couple of times. Don't overthink it. And then circle that ankle around a couple of times. Little ankle cracks. And then circle it in the other direction. Good, and then spread and scrunch the toes a few times. And then rebend that left knee, draw the leg in a little bit closer, and start to direct the breath down into the right hip. Okay, it's a nice long, slow inhale. Right, inviting in more space in that hip, and as you exhale, hug the left leg just a little bit closer. Right, you may notice after just a few moments here that right hip starting to give a little, starting to open up a little bit more. And then slowly release the hands. Take a full body stretch again. Just reach the legs out long, reach the arms up and overhead. And then onto the second side, bend the knees, have the feet on the mat, cross the left ankle this time over the right thigh, breathe in. And then exhale, hug the right thigh in towards the chest, interlace the hands behind the leg. Right, draw the toes back towards the shins. Right, so strong flex through the ankle, and then let the legs shift over again, just so like an inch or so to the right. And take a few breaths here. Right, observe which side offers you a little bit more ease, which side offers you a little bit more tightness. Right, like for me on this side, this left hip is a little bit tighter. I'm gonna have to be a little bit nicer to it. Breathe a little bit deeper into it. Right, keeping the jaw soft, the face soft. And then from here, extend the right leg up towards the sky. And this time again, point and flex the foot a couple of times. And then circle the foot around a couple times. One direction. And in the other direction. And then spread and scrunch the toes a few times. Good. And then rebend the knee. Hug that right leg a little bit closer to the body. Breathe a little bit deeper into the left hip. I'm finding some kind of release there, small though it may be. Last breath. And then uncross the legs. Let the legs come out long in front of you. Reach the arms up and overhead once again. And then hug the knees into the chest. Good. From here, extend both legs up towards the sky. You can have your hands kind of beside the hips here, kind of supporting the hips with the palms facing down if your low back is a little tender. Some of you may want to take the hands behind the head and interlace the fingers. And take a breath in. As we exhale, let both legs come down just about a third of the way. You're gonna reach through the heels and engage your core. Inhale. Exhale, allow both legs to come down halfway or so, right? You can kind of modify this as you need. Inhale. Exhale, let both legs come down and hover above the earth. Reach through the heels, engage the belly. Breathe in at the bottom. Exhale, let both legs come back up towards the sky. If you're like me and you're on a little bit of an incline, it's actually easier. Take a breath in at the top. Exhale, let both legs come down about a third of the way. Use the core, breathe in. Exhale, both legs come down halfway. Reach through the heels. Exhale, let both legs come down, hover above the earth. Hold here for 3, for 2, 1, and then slowly take the legs back up towards the sky. Last round. Inhale at the top. Exhale, both legs come down a third of the way. Inhale. Exhale, both legs come down halfway. Breathe in. Exhale, both legs come down, hover above the floor. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. And then slow, steady, take the legs back up towards the sky. Good. Bend the knees, take the feet down to the mat. Take your feet about as wide as the mat. And then drop the knees over to the left. Reach the arms up and overhead. Give a little bend to the elbows. Hold on to the forearms. And then maybe left ankle will find its way on top of the right thigh. Right? If this isn't happy in your low back, you're going to keep the left foot on the ground. Now start to think of the breath moving in through that right side body. Right, big breath in, feel the right lung expand and widen. And as you exhale, letting the legs get a little bit heavier over to the left here. Just 2 more like that. Good. Take the legs back up to center and then drop the knees over to the right and switch the cross of the forearms. Take the other one on top. Offer the breath down through the left side. Think of the left lung expanding and widening. Okay, be mindful of your low back. If it feels good to take the foot on top of the thigh, great. If it doesn't, keep the foot on the ground. Just 2 more breaths here. And then slowly bring the legs back to center. Good. Hug the knees into the chest. Once again, give a little circle of the legs around a few times. Good. And then you're gonna roll to your right side. And then we'll find our way into a child's pose from here. So roll yourself over, take the toes together, knees nice and wide, sink the hips back and down towards the heels. Allow the forehead to rest on the mat. So waking up the hands here, spread the fingers nice and wide and give yourself some space. So let the hands be about shoulder width distance apart. And pressing down into the knuckles, into the fingertips. Okay. As the awareness moves up the arms, feeling the upper inner arms turning up towards the sky, allowing our shoulders to soften down and away from the ears. Maybe we can walk the hands back a tiny bit, press down into the mat a little bit more, and let the hips sink down further. From here, walk the hands over to the outside of the left side of the mat. And just let the hands rest one over the other, right hand over the left. Get a nice big stretch through that right side body. And then hands over to the right side of the mat. Left hand over the right. Okay, and then come back to center. Make your way up onto the hands and knees, tabletop pose here. So knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers nice and wide, and as we inhale, widen across the chest, let the heart move forward. As you exhale, curl the tailbone down, draw the low belly in, around the back. Inhale, lift, lengthen, widen across the chest. Exhale, round it out. Right, spine moves in little segments. So curl the tailbone around the back, drop the head. And again, lift, lengthen, heart forward. There's no set amount of repetitions you have to do here. Just kind of move with the breath, right? Using your exhale to round. Using your inhale to find length. All right, from here, find a nice flat back. Spread the fingers wide once again. You can curl the left toes under if it helps you balance, or just press down into the left shin. Slide the right toes back with the toes curled under, and just give a little press into the hands to stretch the back of that leg. right? Stretch the calf muscle right where it starts to connect in the back of the knee all the way down to the heel. And then shift it forward, float the right leg up to the height of the hip. Now draw the belly in, keep reaching through that right heel, breathe in. Exhale, draw the right knee in towards the chest. Inhale, lift and lengthen, reach. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, knee to chest. Set the right knee down on the floor, on the mat, and then slide the left toes back behind you, curl them under, give a little press into the hands, stretch the back of the thigh. And stretch down into the lower leg. And then come back to center. From here, float the left leg up to the height of the hip. Now draw the belly in, press the ground away, breathe in. Exhale, draw the knee towards the belly, towards the chest. Inhale, up and back, reach. Exhale, draw the knee in. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, draw it in. And then set the knee down on the floor. Walk the hands forward a couple of inches. Spread the fingers nice and wide. From here, curl your toes under. Lift the knees above the ground just like an inch or two, maybe a couple more. Hug the belly in. Now press the ground away with the hands. Turn the upper inner arms forward. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, rock the chest forward, upward push-up plank. Exhale, down dog. Drop the knees down to the floor, hover for a moment. Take the knees all the way down, let the heart move forward. Keep your toes curled under, round the back. Take a little modified child's pose, sit the hips back and down. Stretch the bottoms of the feet and your toes. Inhale, heart forward. Cow pose, widen across the chest. From here, engage the belly, lift the knees up off the floor. Take an additional breath in here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rock the chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Take the knees down to the floor, let them hover above the earth. Set the knees down, let the heart move forward. Exhale, keep the toes curled under as you round the back, sit it back and down onto the heels. One more like that. Inhale, rock the chest forward. Right, lift the knees above the mat, hold here for a breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rock the chest forward, plank pose. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Good. Take the knees down to the earth, hover them above the floor, breathe in. Exhale, knees down, let the heart move forward. Exhale, round it out. Good. Come forward onto the hands and knees here. You're gonna just stretch the wrist. So turn one hand back towards you. Yeah, you could even, if it feels better, have the other hand in a fist, and we're gonna stretch that wrist back. It's gonna be uncomfortable, right? Yeah, it's not like a feel-good stretch. But we're gonna breathe into it. Right, we're asking a lot of our wrists in this practice, especially kind of on this a little bit different terrain than we're used to. And then flip it to the other side. Right, we can have this one down. Again, you can have this hand in a fist if that's more comfortable. Couple breaths here. Good. And then we're gonna turn the palm or turn the fingers back towards you. So palms are down, thumbs are facing out. Yeah. So your forearms are turning forward, and then you're just gonna give a little lean back. Again, not exactly a feel-good stretch, but good for our arms and wrists. And then turn it back around. Find your way back into our downward facing dog. And then from here, we're gonna walk the hands back towards the feet. So you can press the ground away as you walk the hands back. Give a nice little bend to your knees. Hang the upper body down. Okay. Give a little sway from side to side. And then from here, take the hands to the low back. Interlace the fingers. Okay. Maybe you stay here with the head just dropping down and the hands interlaced at the low back. Maybe your hands start to reach up towards the sky, and then maybe forward a little bit. Breathe here. You can bend your knees as much as you want. And slowly release. Take the fingertips forward of the feet or onto the shins. Let the heart move forward, half lift. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Reach up, grow tall. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's do a couple of half sun salutes. Press the feet down. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, diving forward. Bend the knees as much as you want. Drop the head down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold it in. Good. Press the feet down. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Feel that lift of the arms originate in the upper back, right? In the shoulder blades. Exhale, hands to the heart. Two more like that. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, fold, right? These sun salutations are moving meditation. So you can let the eyes close if that's comfortable. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, fold. Right, our whole practice is just linking breath with movement intelligently. Inhale, sweep it out and up, breathe in. Exhale, hands to the heart. One more and then we'll add on. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, breathe in. Exhale, hands to the heart. Interlace the fingers, keep the pointer finger straight. Reach the arms up towards the sky, and then take a little bend over to the side. Whatever, we're gonna do both sides, it doesn't matter which one you do first. Get it back up to center, and then over to the other side. Good, back up, reach the arms up, get nice and tall. Release the hands, exhale, fold it in. Walk the hands forward, and then walk yourself out into a plank pose. Good, start to reach the heels back. Feel the inner thighs gently turning up, heart moving forward. Maybe taking the knees down to the floor, uncurl the toes, press the tops of the feet down. We're gonna rock the chest forward, exhale, lower to the belly. Slide the hands down, back by the low ribs, spread your fingers wide, roll the shoulders back, inhale, lift. Pressing down into the tops of the feet, the knees are lifting up off the ground. Right, belly is strong here, exhale, lower forehead to the mat. Take a breath. Once again, roll the shoulders down the back. Shoulder blades firm into the upper back, firm the upper arms in, crown of the head moving forward. Low cobra. Exhale, lower. Take a breath. Last one. Inhale. Widen across the chest. Light on the hands here, right? We're not pushing down into the floor. If anything, you should feel like the heels of the hands are kind of moving back to help move the chest forward. Exhale, lower. Curl your toes under. Press yourself up through tabletop, and then exhale into your downward facing dog. So pause here, spread the fingers nice and wide. All right, get a nice little grasp of the ground of the mat. You really want to be dramatic with how you're fanning your hands out here. We want a big foundation in the hands, a little bit more weight in the inner part of the hand. The awareness, move up the arms, biceps turn forward, shoulders soften down. Take a few breaths. Maybe even like turn the head from side to side a couple times, release the neck a little bit more. Come high onto the balls of the feet. So stretching the bottoms of the feet. Give a generous bend to your knees and lift the hips up higher. Now look forward and take a little walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep it out and up. Reach up, growth. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. From here, we're gonna step the left foot back. So left foot back, drop the left knee down to the floor. So you can keep the left toes curled under, or you can press down into the top of the shin and foot, whatever feels best. We're gonna root down through this right heel, firm the right hip in, inhale, sweep the arms up. So keep the arms a little bit wider today, shoulder blades firm in, and then start to lift, right? So lengthen through the sides of the waist and lift. We got a bonus dog today, it's pretty sweet. Press down into the right heel, stretch through the front of that left thigh, hip flexors, breathe in. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Curl the left toes under, press the left thigh up. All right, so we're in a nice high lunge here. Keep the left hand down on the floor. Inhale, reach the right arm up to the sky. So draw the right hip back and in. Left thigh is nice and strong. Longer through the sides of the waist and then turn the heart up to the sky. All right, soften the shoulders down. Breathe in. Exhale, right hand down to the ground. With control from here, step the right foot back. You can have knees up or down. We'll move through a vinyasa. Inhale, rock the chest forward. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, over the toes into our upward facing dog, widen across the chest. Exhale, down dog. Give yourself 5 breaths here. All right, we're not in a rush. It's already hot. When we're in this super pitta, super fiery hot season, it's really helpful to move a little bit slower, right? So we're not in a rush in our practice. We're not in a rush in our life. We are still in the valley. All right. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Step or hop to the top of the mat. All right, nothing says you're doing yoga in the valley like a police helicopter overhead. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Again, inhale, reach out and up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, get some length. Right, this time we're gonna step the right foot back. Right, drop the right knee down to the ground. Again, toes can stay curled under or top of the foot will press down. Press through that left heel. Inhale, sweep it out and up. We're looking for length through the sides of the waist, maybe a little arch in the upper back. Right, lifting, maybe the gaze can lift. Press down a little bit more into that left heel. Stretch a little bit more through this right hip flexor area. And breathe. Right, so whether you sit or have to stand for work or whatever it is, or commuting, your hip flexors are gonna get tight no matter what. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Curl your right toes under, press the right thigh up. I'm gonna twist away from you guys. Right hand down to the ground. Left arm reaches up to the sky. Draw the inner thighs towards one another. Small, subtle action to stabilize your hips, right? Left hip back, right hip forward. Breathe. One more. Left hand down to the floor. Again, with control, step the left foot back. Knees up or down. We're gonna rock the chest forward. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale over the toes, upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog. 5 breaths here. Then go ahead, take the knees down to the floor. Take a child's pose. Take your child's pose with the knees together. Breathe down into the low belly. Inhale it forward once again. Curl the toes under. Come into a plank pose from here. So we're gonna take one forearm down to the floor and then the other. Coming into our forearm plank. So you can always drop a knee down if you need. We're gonna come into a forearm side plank from here. We'll start with the left arm on the ground. So shooting over onto the outer edge of the left foot. Right hand can come to the right hip. Right arm can come to the sky. You can stack the feet or you can stagger them. Breathe. One more. Exhale gracefully, right arm down to the floor. Good, and then over to the other side. Shifting over onto the outer edge of the right foot. Coming onto the right arm. Left hand will come to the hip or perhaps up towards the sky. And breathe. Left arm down to the ground. From here, walk the feet in, coming into a dolphin pose. So forearms still on the ground. Hips are lifting up like down dog. And breathe. And then take the knees down. Again, sit back into a child's pose. Maybe take the arms alongside the body. Right, let the forehead rest down. Give yourself a couple of breaths here. Okay. So reconnecting with your breath. Make your way back up onto the hands and knees. Curl the toes under. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. How are we temperature-wise? Are we okay? Is it? We're getting there. Okay. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. And exhale, hands to the heart. All right, let's take the toes together. Heels a little sliver of space apart. Start to shift the weight into the heels. Bend the knees, let the fingertips graze the ground. Inhale, sweep the arms up. I'll draw the low belly in. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. Firm the upper arms in, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, step the feet back, plank pose. Knees up or down. Rock the chest forward, exhale, lower halfway. Inhale over the toes, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Inhale, float the right leg up to the height of the hip. As you exhale, draw the right knee in towards the chest. Step the right foot between the hands. So make sure you're not on a tightrope here, right? Give yourself a little bit of space, maybe the right foot over to the right, left foot over to the left a little. Slightly shorter stance. Firm the right hip in, anchor through those back toes, and then inhale, sweep it up. Crescent lunge. So find a little bend up first in this back knee so you can lift these frontal hip bones, and then we can start to work towards straightening. Again here, just like when we had the knee down, lifting through the chest, keep the arms a little bit wider today. Shoulder blades firm in. Maybe the gaze can lift. We can bend this right knee a little bit deeper. And breathe here. All right, if you want to challenge your balance, you can close the eyes. Breathe. Exhale, hands down to the floor. From here, drop the back knee down, keep the back toes curled under, and we're gonna shift the hips back, flex the right foot. Ardha Hanumanasana, stretching the hip or the hamstrings on the right side. So inhale, get tall, get long. Firm the right hip in, exhale, a little bit of a fold. 5 breaths here. Inhale, shift it forward. Plant the hands on either side of the right foot. Press the left thigh up. And you can move through a vinyasa here, or you can step right to downward facing dog, whatever you need. Good. Inhale, float the left leg up to the height of the hip. As we exhale, hug the left knee into the chest. Step the left foot between the hands. Again, give yourself a little bit of space here, right? Make sure you're not closing yourself in. Give yourself a little bit of room. Firm the left hip in, anchor through the back leg, and then inhale, sweep it up. Crescent lunge. Right? Little bend in this back knee will help you shift the pelvis. So lifting the frontal hip bones, lengthening through the low back, and then we can start to straighten it. And then lift the gaze. Lift the chest. Reaching the arms up and then a little bit back. Right? Maybe we close the eyes to challenge the balance. Maybe today we need that little spot to focus on, right? Some stability. 2 more breaths. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Drop the right knee down, keep the toes curled under, start to shift the hips back, right? Ardha Hanumanasana. Firm the left hip in, inhale, get some length in the spine, and then exhale, fold it in. It doesn't have to be a huge fold, right? Breathe into the back of that left leg. Two more breaths. Inhale, walk it forward. From here, lift the right knee off the floor. You're gonna step the right foot to the top of the mat. Yes, inhale, heart forward. Exhale, fold it in. Bend the knees, and then just roll the spine up. Like one little bone is coming up at a time. Let the head be the last thing to come up. All right, we're gonna find tree pose from here. So find the most flat part of your mat to stand on, right? So one last standing thing and then we'll start to cool it down. Take the hands to the hips. Find something that isn't moving to focus on, right? Some little piece of something on the ground will help you balance. Go ahead and bend the right knee. Open the right knee out to the side. You can use your toes here to help stabilize. And then we're gonna take the foot to the lower leg. Now firm this outer hip in, yes. Press down into the standing foot. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you wanna take the foot to the inner thigh. Maybe. So just like above or below the knee, right? You wanna protect the knee here. And then take the hands to the heart, Anjali Mudra. Come back into the breath. Just 3 breaths like this. All right, where can I soften? Maybe it's my thoughts, the jaw, your shoulders, skin of the forehead. One more breath. Reach the arms up towards the sky. Take your right knee forward, extend the leg, hold for 3, 2, 1, release it down. Good, onto the second side. Hands to the hips. Bend the left knee, externally rotate the leg. So turn the knee out to the side. Use your toes here to help stabilize you as you firm this right hip in a little bit more. Right? And then take the foot to the lower leg. Right? Maybe we stay here, right? This is where our balance is at. That's totally fine. Maybe you want to play around with taking the foot above the knee, a little bit higher, pressing the foot into the thigh, pressing the thigh into the foot. Take the hands to the heart. So just give that one little spot all of your attention, right? To help you focus, to help you balance. Two more breaths like that. And reach the arms up to the sky. Take that knee forward, extend the leg, hold for 3, 2, 1. Release it down. And inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Keep your feet about hips width distance here. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold it forward. Padangusthasana, take your index, middle finger, and thumb, wrap it around your big toes. Let the heart move forward. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold it in. Elbows bend deeply. You can bend your knees here to help find that big hinging at the hips and bending in the elbows. Drop the crown of the head down. Two more breaths. Inhale, heart forward. Let the fingertips find the ground. Heel toe your feet out and away from one another a little bit here. And then turn the toes out. So feet a little bit wider than the outer hips, toes turning out. And then from here, we're gonna sit it down into a squat. Good, Malasana. Let the hands come to the heart. Let the eyes close. Don't overthink it, right? Just give a little press of the upper arms into the legs, a little press of the legs back into the arms. Allow the skin of the forehead to soften a little bit more. Think of it like the eyebrows are moving away from one another. Right? And the eyes naturally soften. Skin around the eyes naturally softens. One more breath. From here, find our way into a seated position. Right, just kind of shift back. So we'll take a forward fold. So you may want to scoot back on your mat a little bit so your forehead isn't all the way in the grass, unless that's what you want. You decide whatever feels best with your legs. So some of you will prefer having the shins crossed. Some of you will be happy with heel in front of heel. You may even take like a half lotus, right? Or a half pigeon. Just kind of feel it out for yourself, whatever your hips are needing today. This is a little bit much for me today. So I'm gonna do heel in front of heel. Get a little bit of length, get tall. And then exhale, keep the hips moving back as the upper body moves forward. Just allow the upper body to round, let it just sink down. We're gonna be here for a little bit, couple of breaths. So just take your time settling in. Always asking ourselves here, right, where can I soften a little bit? Where can I let go? And so maybe it is literally in the physical body, but maybe it's in the thoughts, right? Inhale, start to press yourself up. And then just switch the cross of the legs, take the opposite variation, right? Heel in front of heel, shin in front of shin, or legs on top of each other. Get a little bit of length. And then use the exhale. Keep the hips moving back, let the upper body melt down. And we'll slowly start to press ourselves back up. Let's go ahead and make our way onto the back. Okay. And then just hug the knees into the chest as you arrive. A little squeeze of the knees and towards the body. Give a little rock from side to side. And then take the arms out into a T or a little cactus shape. And then exhale, drop your legs over to the left. And let the legs come back to center. And drop the knees over to the right. Gently come back to center. Give the knees a nice big hug into the chest. You can roll yourself into a little ball here. And then release. And come into our final resting pose of Shavasana, laying all the way down on the back. Letting the legs relax. Letting the arms relax. We'll just take a couple cycles of breath here. Allow the eyes to close. Slowly start to deepen the flow of your breath. Give a little wiggle to your fingers and toes. As you inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, hug the knees into the chest. A little squeeze. From here, take the right arm up and overhead. Gently roll to your right side. And then take your time and slowly press yourself into a comfortable seated position. Make your way up. Allow the hands to come to the heart space. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om shanti, shanti, shanti. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May our thoughts, may our actions in some way contribute to their happiness and freedom. Om, peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you. Good work. I cut it a little bit short because it's getting kind of hot. That's enough. I'd read that like where I live just over that way was going to be like 100 by this part of the day. So let's just.
It doesn't feel 100 yet.
It doesn't feel 100 yet. But like this little bit of sun does.
I ended
That
up-
tiny little bit.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
There we go. Hi, Charlene. We got our little Zoom call.
Hey, Charlene.
Stay cool.
All right. Thank you guys.
Bye.